I guess, like, I don't know how to get rid of you. Like, I literally don't know how to get rid of you. So I was like, okay, yeah, I guess we can smoke. So, hey y'all, it's Madeline. If you're new here, if you're not new here, it's literally still Madeline. And today I thought that I would tell you guys another solo backpacking story. And this time it's about the Portuguese man that I call him Man that I met in Naples, Italy. Okay, let's get into the story. So before I tell you this story, I have to give you a little bit of backstory. Italy was only my second country, but before I left to travel, I had been smoking weed every single day of my life. Like literally every single day for the past 7 years. Like almost a half ounce a day. Like, I know, you guys don't come for me. It was a lot and it was excessive and unnecessary. Anyways, when I started traveling, obviously I couldn't like smuggle weed into Morocco, or maybe I could, but I didn't want to take that risk. And so I literally just like cold turkeyed it and like went with some cigarettes to like kind of curb the craving for weed or whatever. So at this point in my journey, when I meet the Man, I have gone probably, Italy was only my second country, so probably like a week and a half without weed, which like doesn't sound like that long, but for somebody who's been smoking that much consistently every day for 7 years, it is a long time. It is quite the tolerance break. So I was doing fine though. I was feeling fine, whatever. I get to Naples, and the first day I go outside to have a cigarette. Smoking is bad, kids. Do not smoke cigarettes. I've quit cigarettes. Okay, they smell bad, they're dirty, they're stinky, they get on your fingers, and they ruin everything. Okay, so now that we settled that, I went outside to smoke a cigarette, and I was, talking on the phone with my friend, and I look over, and there's a guy, and he's smoking weed, and I smell it, and I'm like, oh my god, it smells so good. So obviously I'm like, I need to make conversation with this guy. So I didn't know if he really spoke English, but after my phone conversation, I was just like, oh, like, what are you smoking? And he spoke pretty good English, but his first language was Portuguese. He was from Brazil, but it was still pretty broken. And what he would say, every other word was like, he'd be like, da la la, da la la, da la la. So anyway, that's why I call him the Man. But I met Man, and we got to talking, and he was like, do you want to hit this? It's like hash from Morocco. Like, I know this Moroccan guy out here. And I was like, sure, Me being dumb, thinking that this wasn't a long tolerance break, I like start smoking it. And after a few hits, I pretty soon realized, I'm like, okay, I'm Stony Maloney. I need to go to bed. And also, like, he was kind of being like a little bit flirty with me, and he was probably in his like mid 30s and just like not my type, and I wasn't into him. So I was like, it's time for me to take my butt to bed. So I went upstairs, and I was like, it was my first night in this hostel. I like kind of passed out, whatever. The next morning, I go about my day, whatever. In Italy, I do a bunch of Italian things. I don't know. And then later that night, same thing. I'm smoking a cigarette, same thing. He offers me to hit his joint. I'm not going to say no. So I hit it a few times again, realized that I got super freaking fried again. And like, I was just kind of sitting there listening to everything he was saying. Like, he kept going on and on about how he was poor, and then he just made himself rich by like spending money and like believing that he was rich, and then he became rich. And he kept going on and on about how he wanted to show me the way. I want to show you the way, like, you need to know the way, because that's the way, like, once you believe, it's the way, it's the way. And this man seemed to have a lot of money, so I don't know. And then he invited me out to dinner for the next night. And again, this man was not my type, but I was like, I'll go out to dinner with you, I guess, like, because I'm in Italy, and he was going to literally wine and dine me, like, not like McDonald's me, you know what I mean? And I was like, an Italian wine and dine, like, bottle of wine, pasta, dessert, like a whole 9 yards. And I was like really budget traveling, so I was like, yeah, frick yeah. So I went with him, and it was really awkward because we smoked before, and he had this hash. He'd be like, do you want to make one? That's what he would say. And then like, I would put the hash in my hand with like the grabba and like do it and like make one for us to smoke. I don't know. So he was like, do you want to make one? Like, before we went for the dinner. And I was like, sure. So I made a joint for us to smoke, and smoked it on the way to dinner. So I was like kind of out of it as frick at the dinner, and I was just like, I don't even know what was happening. It was a really expensive restaurant. He was flirting with me. He was talking with me about the way, to show me the way, and I'm very frugal, and I was very frugal, like, around him and stuff too. And he was like, the reason why you're broke, I'm not broke, I'm just frugal. He's like, the reason why you're broke is because you're in a broke mindset, and you have to, like, spend money to make money to live the way and be the way. And, like, there's truth in what he's saying. And I, like, you know, I really was like, it was good information to, like, you know, create your own reality, essentially, information. But I don't just believe that, like, spending money. Anyway, so after that, he was getting, like, really flirty, and I felt like he, like, wanted to, like, kiss me and stuff. So I just, like, kind of, like, curbed that at all, avoided that at all costs, all freaking costs. And then we literally just went back to the hostel, and then he was like, we're gonna go to the beach the next day. And I was like, oh, and he kept showing me, like, he had a pet parrot and stuff, like, in Brazil and stuff. He was like, I'll take you all these places. He was like, we're gonna go to the beach the next day. And I'm like, I don't know. Okay, like, I'm a little better now, but I was like super awkward. I didn't know how to say no. That's something I learned how to do on this trip. This was only the second country, and I was like, like, sure. But the next day, I really didn't want to go to the beach with him. Like, I didn't want to spend a whole day in Italy with this man. I don't even like this man. I shouldn't have gone to the dinner. So then I'm like, all right. The next day, I wake up, and he's waiting for me. And this is such a bad thing to do. I wish I didn't do this, but, like, you live and you learn. And, like, I was such a bitch for doing this. But I was like, he was waiting at the front for me, like, at the desk of the hostel. And I literally, like, in the morning, I put on a hat and, like, like, and I literally snuck out. And I went to the beach by myself, like, snuck past him. And I felt really bad. But then later that night, he was like, I got back to the hostel, and he was like, oh, like, you could have just told me that you didn't want to go to the beach and all this stuff. And he's like, I was like, I just wanted to spend some time by myself. Like, I just got to Italy. Like, I've spent, like, all my time in Italy with you. And, like, I didn't want to say, like, I don't even like you. Like, I just don't know how to get rid of you. So he was like, it's okay, it's okay. And he asked me to make one or whatever. So then we, like, smoked that. We, like, made up or whatever, this guy. And he keeps like, I'm gonna show you the way. I'm gonna show you the way. Literally would not shut about the freaking way. And I was like, okay, dog, like, I'll. So then I went upstairs, went to bed, whatever. The next day I woke up, and this man was literally waiting for me again by the desk. And I was like, and I tried to leave again because we didn't even have any plans. We did not even have any plans. He's like, oh, I was waiting for you. I start to walk. I'm trying to go. I have other plans with other people that I met. Like, I have a life outside of this weird, you know, man. And so, like, he starts, like, literally chasing me down the road. He's like, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm like, you know, I really want to spend the day alone. Like, it's fine. Like, whatever. So then I was like, we can hang out later, whatever. So later that night, we, you know, hang out again, smoke. I'm still getting super high. Every time we're smoking, by the way, I'm hitting the joint, like, 2 or 3 times. Like, but this hash was crazy. It was so crazy. And, like, I've never experienced anything like it in my life. So then, that night, I literally didn't know how to get rid of him because I had kind of, like, told him politely several times that I just wanted to be alone. I just wanted to be by myself, like, yada, yada, yada. So I went on the Hostelworld app, which, hack, if you're traveling, Hostelworld is a great place to find hostels. You just put in the city that you want to, you know, be traveling to, or that you're going to be traveling to, and then it'll have all the options listed on there, like, in the area. And it's all super cheap. So I booked another hostel for the next day, and I didn't tell this guy. And my plan was to leave super early in the morning, like, before he got up, like, with all of my stuff, go to the other hostel, check in, leave my stuff, and then carry about my day. So that's literally what I did. I woke up in the morning, and I left, like, 5 a.m., like, before this man was even up. And I went all the way to this other hostel. I dropped off my stuff. I made breakfast, whatever, chilled. I think I took, like, a little nap. And then I set about my day, and I did this like hike this day. I like went, I don't know, to the top. I met this cute like motorcycle dude, whatever. We were like talking with the view of Italy, was really nice. And then I'm walking back from this hike. I'm sweaty. Oh, and this is what this guy, he would always call me La Bella Napoli, like the beauty of Napoli or the beauty of Naples. Like, so I have no idea. So like I was walking, and then all of a sudden I was like, La Bella Napoli. I was like, what the? I was probably like 2 miles from where the other hostel was. Like, I was like, is this man following me? Like, this man found me in the middle of the city. And I was like, oh my God. And since we were talking about like, you know, divine timing and divine intervention and stuff, like he was really spiritual and stuff, like beforehand, like when we were smoking all these times, he was like, this is divine timing, this is divine intervention, like, do you want to make one, like, do you want to smoke? I was like, literally, I guess, like, I don't know how to get rid of you, like, I literally don't know how to get rid of you. So I was like, okay, yeah, I guess we can smoke. So we go find like a little park bench or whatever, and like I'm rolling up this hash, and we start to smoke it, and we smoke or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, I have to go back. And he's trying to entice me to stay because he still wants to hang out, and I'm stupid. And he's like, do you want to smoke another one? So I'm like, whatever. So he's like, do you want to make one? So I'm making one. And then he's like, we keep hitting it or like whatever. And I've never greened out I greened out once in high school in a Chipotle. Calvin, if you're watching this, so sorry. Wherever you are. Yeah, but I greened out because my light just died, so bear with me. I greened out because I smoked so much. So then I was like literally like sweating. Like, it was the weirdest experience. I was sweating, I was passing out, I threw up twice. And the whole time this guy is just like, he was so nice, like bless his heart, I just wasn't into him. He was like pouring water on my head and stuff because I'm like greening out, and he's like trying to wipe the hair out of my eyes, and these 2 Italian women are like so concerned for me, and he's like, no, it's fine, she's fine, like she's just, it's okay, like. And then eventually I come to, and as soon as I come to enough to like, it was like 30 minutes later, like it took me a while, I was like passing out and throwing up. And the thing about me is when I go through spells, like anything severe in my body, I sweat buckets. So I was like literally like buckets of sweat drenched my clothes. So yeah, as soon as I came to, also an experience I learned from that I need to be better at communicating. I was just kind of like, I need to leave, and like left. And I feel really bad because I never saw him again. I was kind of mean to him. I used him for a dinner, and I greened out, and he took care of me. But to be fair, he was like literally would not leave me alone, and he was being kind of like a stalker. And if you tuned into my previous video about getting kidnapped in Morocco, this was the country. I went to 22 countries. This was the second country on my trip, and another weird instance happened with a man. So after this, I tightened frick up. You would think, right? Well, maybe. You have to stay tuned. Also stay tuned because I'm going to El Salvador in a few days. So I'm actually going to be starting my travel vlog series. I'm going to try and go to at least one country every month. So stay tuned for that. Solo, by the way. Yeah, shut up, Maddie.